Welcome to Day Trading for Success, where the professor, a former math teacher turned full-time trader and coder, guides beginners on how to trade for a living using proven strategies, breakthrough indicators, and lessons from essential trading books. The professor isn't a licensed financial advisor. Always consult a pro before diving into any strategies or demos you see here. Start smart, practice in a simulator, stick to a solid day trading plan, and don't forget to log every trade. Your profits will start with preparation. Thank you for allowing us to share in your journey. Please remember to subscribe, comment, give a thumbs up, and click that notification bell so you can be the first to receive more of our great content.
Hey, good morning, everybody. This is the professor with Day Trading for Success. I'm here trading live with a bunch of people on Zoom and streaming on YouTube. You can catch me streaming live on YouTube most mornings. Make sure you turn on your notification bells if you're interested in that, and you can trade along with me. Also, remember, I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so you should seek the advice of someone licensed before you try to emulate anything I do here, and do your own due diligence. These are not typical results that I have here. So what you're looking at is a Thinkorswim layout, which is what I primarily trade when I'm doing live streaming. And this is a 1 minute chart. This is the news down here, kind of reduced, a day chart that's reduced. You've got the active trader. Well, I'll take my trades. This is actually a little too wide. We'll shorten that up a bit. Level 2, and then we have a 15-minute chart down here. This is a 5-minute 10-day, a 5-minute 2-day reduced, and these are all reduced 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour, all to help me set up. Typically, we're trading a range-bound strategy. We're trying to find a range of a stock. We have scanners set up that I've just gone over with the crowd if you want to watch the live stream. We also have news on the bias of all the stocks, which I'll get into a little bit after the market opens. We're primarily waiting for the first 15 minutes or so of the open to pass, where stocks sort of settle down and sort of move in between a range back and forth. You'll see light up on this screen once the market opens. Every whole and half dollar will light up from a custom indicator, and then you'll see ATR ranges come up. And if you look, I have a lot of stuff set up on this chart. 9 moving average, 20, and then the SMA 50, 100, 200, the VWAP, your ATR multiple range, which is the half range based on Day Trading Volume 1, the book, the best-selling book, as well as the overall ATR range, which is the average true range of a stock over a 14-day period, smoothed by Wilder's mathematical formula, and you expect that the stock's going to move in between that range. Once it breaks out of that range, it's trending. So it's a different style of trading, and you might want to go with that trend. The problem with that is you never know when they're going to stop. We have the market magnet here too, which is based on the price volume that's just happened. Multiple chart alignment. That's what these lines are coming at when different charts close. So you can see what's happening on the 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour on this stock right here. I'm on this stock because I'm going to look at it at the open in about a minute to see if I want to do something with it. MACD is here, buy sell oscillators here, and then of course the Scalp Pro. Now, I do not recommend you do this at all, trade at the open. I'm going to actually lower my share size. I may or may not take a trade depending on if it dips all the way down to historical data, which is right here. Really, we'll call it at the 50-cent level, 72.50. You've got a fib to back it up a little bit lower. I might do that. There's a whole bunch more historical and a couple of fib lines, which we can go over as we get a little deeper into what you're seeing me do here today. We got 1 minute to trade, guys. I look this way. This is all on my screen is all my YouTube streamers. And then on this screen over here, I have 2 different setups with Zoom. And then I have Charlie is actually trading with her group. She usually would handle the chat when we trade with large share size traders, 500 to 1,000 shares on market only using reverse and stuff. And those are different videos. You might want to check those out where you can see the potential of making $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 in just 30 minutes using the RV strategy, which is from Day Trading Volume 1. So here we go, guys, in 22 seconds. I'm trying to cover as much data as I can as quickly as possible for you that are just watching this video now. And people say, well, it's not live. Well, nothing's live the second after it's not live. You're only live when you're right there. All right, here we go. All the whole and half dollars showed up. Where's our ATR? So we're near the bottom ATR here. that would be another reason to go to try to, but see, it's going to ride the momentum up. It won't give me a chance. I'm not going to chase that. I wanted a dip. Maybe the dip was, that was it. It's already gone up now from the open, $4. It was up $4. That would have been $100 quickly. You can imagine with a higher share size how fast you can make money on these stocks. Now I'm trading with a $43,000 account, so on margin that can obviously go a lot higher. Benzinga just hit, the movers just hit. But I don't want to go into margin because I may want to hold it into a day trade or a swing, and then overnight they charge me, and it's possible on a small account like this I even get a margin call. All right, so we didn't get an opening trade right here on this. It's just taken off because the news is too positive, which scares me, you know, because a dip could happen in any moment here. So this is real gambling right now. I really would like to see this come down. I don't want to get into it when it's like this. Now, typically, guys, we're going to wait. Here we go. We're going to wait till we get into 76, 75, 87. I'll try it. Oh, God, no, not there. Get me out of that. Jesus. Man, that went up fast. I'll try that. All right, I'm in. Let's see how bad it hurts me. I got in when it was going down because I know I've got some support a little further down there. A little higher than I would want to be to play this reindeer game, but this might be as big as that it dipped, so I just didn't want to miss it. Hurting me now. I'll actually add to that position, guys, if it goes down too low. So that's 74.50. Only got 25 shares, but it can add up fast. We're only trying to make $100, so I'm already in a nice big hole here for that. There's the 72. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add to my position if it picks me up down there. I think I had one chance to do that because I think it just might go right back up. All right, I'm going to cancel that. It took too long. I read the data and then, I need to reread it again to make the same move. I only hold a position for 5 or 10 seconds, a potential position, should I say. Had it picked me up, I'd be doing great. I'd already be in the green, but it didn't pick me up. So it really used that historical data, huh? Within 19 cents of it and turned around. Based on where the price action turned around on a previous day is where that was marked. Remember, it did this to me yesterday, too. It messed with me. See, they just raised their price target. I mean, this is good news at 9.15. So, but often what happens is there's a sell-off and then a rebuy and then MU News. Okay, now really looking like I really want to buy this. I really believe this is a dip. Big chance. Missed it again. Now, if it keeps going down, you're going to see this go up higher, much faster to a negative. So it's really a risk. But we're hoping that's the dip. That is the dip. That is your ATR at 171. Now, granted, that's quite a bit off my position, but I would automatically go in right there for more shares because that's usually a huge support level. Here we go. We're going to make some money now. Let's go. Again, trading this type of volatility, this type of spread, not what I recommend and not what we normally do. This is just me being reckless at the beginning of the market. And this could go bad quickly. I would hold this into a swing is what I would do. Absolutely. Into a day trade if this goes against me. I was studying this earlier before, a little while ago, thinking where I had my ranges, knowing that I could go deep red before it came back, but I do believe it will come back. I'd like to see it stop at the ATR, but for some reason, if it doesn't, it'd be a little scary. A little scary. Tiny bit scary. Now, that's a shadow wick. You're going to see the sensitivity here. Whoa. It did hit it. What is that? ATR 370. What's the ATR at? Let me get a look here. NVIDIA is basically steady. AMD is, oh yeah, MU's down. Right, AMD. What's AMD doing? AMD is down $1. No, AMD is up $4. So that should lead the way along with NVIDIA. Well, NVIDIA's down, so, but AMD is up. We heard that that was going to be volatile today. So my swing on that is at its position, basically, from a few days ago, a week ago or something. Wow, I hate the fact that it keeps testing this. So I'm probably going to have to come back and look at this later, guys. We'll set a sell on this, and we'll go to another stock. But it's a little early, so you don't count this as part of our... It's on this account, but you wouldn't want to count this as part of the strategy. If I end up walking away from this, I will put a sell on the ladder. I'm tired. I'm getting tired that it's taking so long. I don't like that. 6 minutes in, 7 minutes in 4 seconds. So we don't really want it. We'll start to, I mean, there's nothing to look at yet for the consolidation. So I guess I can just sit here and watch this with everybody as it hurts me more. Man, huh? Unexpected. Unexpected that it's this low. I really didn't. I had the 371 is what I thought was going to be the low of this dip. And now it's really getting lower. So I will add to this again. So MU, let's see. No, I kind of hit the max on this if I want to hold it into a swing. This is it. I can't go over 100 shares, so. Huh? This is scary. This is trading, guys. Fun, fun. Let's take a look at that 5-minute and see what it looks like overall here. So, yeah, we're getting down to some real support down here, but that's pretty low. There's no reason this should be going down. Absolutely no reason, except people taking profit right now. It's nothing but good news for this stock. So this is a shakedown. People are getting shaken out of this. If it was me and you're not at your max loss, I would hold, which is what I'm doing. So I'm going to hold into this move and look for a recovery. Now, you saw what happened yesterday. It did these shenanigans, and then it recovered and made money. Let's take a look at yesterday. Here's yesterday. You saw that, I ended up with a position, I think, somewhere in here, and then it went way down, scared the heck out of everybody, and then it went way up and made money. And it does, you kind of expect that with a large cap, that it goes back and forth. And again, I would rather trade this in a much larger account, as you've seen me do, because I could have added down there and I'd been making some big money as it came back up to the ATR. Let's hope it breaks through this ATR. Yep, did. So it's on the way back up. Now it hit that fib, huh? And the 9 moving average right there. That's what that gray line is. Had 2 points of resistance that scared people. Buyers didn't make it to the top. We need a bigger volume candle that's green, like that's happening here. Let's get this to break that volume. What do we got? No, we won't break it on this one. But see that is going to send it up, guys. So let's see what happens here. Is the magnet below or above? Oh, it's up here, so that's not good. Nope, it's going to go down before it goes up. Anyway, I'm not at all slightly worried that this trade will not become profitable. Said with confidence. Now, if you're shaking and sweating and your share size is too high, you have 5 shares. Or never trade something with a spread. Remember, it was a 40-cent spread. There's 32. So you don't trade this stock. If it's going to scare you, don't do it. You need to be totally confident in your trading. You can't, let moves like this have you run to the bathroom. This is way back in the day. I remember people, one guy in particular with a barf bag next to his station. You're not going to live a long life with that kind of an attitude, so. So this month, we're up to over $1,000 in these 6 days traded. So we're doing way better than $100 average. If we count this against that on this account, which is not one that I would normally recommend trading, it could do a big chunk of damage to us. So let's hope that doesn't happen. On the Trader View stats, you'll find me scalp my way out of it on a different stock so that we're green. That's what I'll do. I'll make sure we're green. How many minutes? So we're 11 minutes in. So let's look up, start to look what's consolidating up here. NVIDIA's gone down. Amazon's down. Intel's down. MU's down. Palantir's down. Tesla's up. Google's down. Wow, everything's going down. What's the SPY saying right now? The SPY's down a little bit, but not too much. QQQ is down more, down $3. Apple is steady as she goes. That might be one to look at. Price is almost the same as when it opened right now. So that means we've got good consolidation. I think it was slightly biased on that. All right, so we'll go over and start looking at other stocks. Let me set this range. So let's see where we were. So we opened up way up here at 78. So we want to make a couple $100. I'll put it at like 375.50, 375.70. Let's put it at 375.70 to sell out, okay? 375.70. And then I'll walk away. We'll walk away. All right. So if we're not looking at this, that's what I'm looking for, it to come back and take a profit, not getting overly greedy. That could happen in a matter of a couple of minutes, or it might take a while to happen. But I do believe it will happen. So we'll go for that's $100, right? That's just $100. So that would make our daily goal. It's not too greedy. And let's look at some other stuff now. So I'm not going to put a max loss, guys, because I have confidence in it, and I don't really have a max loss. I personally don't have a max loss on these things on such a small share size. It can't really. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just trying. You may want to trade differently, is what I'm trying to say. So you may want to set max loss rather than profit. If you're going to stop watching it. Well, let's watch it a second longer because it may just bail me out right now. So let's see. See if it now breaks the ATR and the fib. We want it to break this fib. Wish it was a higher account because I would have added to 100 shares down here. Can I do that? Somehow I thought I was at 100 shares. I could have added to 100 shares, couldn't I have? What's our price? 373.70. Yeah, that would have only been 37,000. So I could have added down there. Somehow I thought I was at 100 shares. Well, darn. If it goes down again, although even right here, it's just like definitely worthy of adding to it, I got to tell you. It's starting to come back now. I think I might do that, guys. I think see if I can get a dip here before I move on. Let me cancel this. This is just the way my mind's thinking here. So we'll get rid of that. And let's get a dip down here for another 50 shares. 68. So we get all the way down to 67. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get in there. Okay, so now I'm 100 shares. So now we're big risk. So now if we go to 75, up to where I was, I'd be making $500. Is that what I looked at? Yeah, so that would be a good trade for this account. And then it's like, do you really want to count that because we're not recoiling on this? So, God, I wish I would have waited a little longer. I think I got it at 67 though, right? 67 something. All right, so now let's set the sail. Let's go for 74.75 and go for $400. Exciting. It's exciting. Not overly greedy. Just looking at the chart there. Oh, don't do it. All right, so we're at 74.75. So where was that tweezer move? Right about there. Just not too long ago. 10 minutes ago, we were there. All right, so let's get a look at Apple now and make some money on the actual strategy and then let this wait out. We'll hear it. We should hear a nice little ring in a few minutes. That means we made some money here today. So let's try Apple. Now we'll get into the real actual way we should be doing the strike and recoil strategy. Because Apple looks like it's consolidating here. So let's see. 5 minute just looks. So it had its big rise. Got a couple of good channels here from 73 to 74. It's just not that big of a channel. So we can probably do 100 shares without too much risk here. Yeah, sellers have taken over in the last few minutes. Okay, I'm very interested to see what this looks like for consolidating. Not bad. All right, so our level here of 74.50 seems to be getting respected. That's the $0.50. We've got some support at the whole dollar here, but it just breached it. Now we're going to drop below our opening right here, it looks like. So this might be a good time to get in if we're going long biased. So what's the actual price? 73. All right, I got to look at the day chart here. Let's just check it all out to make sure we're not getting into a bias that we shouldn't get into. I want to trade at long bias, but it flat topped right here. People might be getting a little scared of the reports coming out, which could send this down a little more. Apple is now it's down. Now it's down $1 from its consolidation. Yeah, I don't like this move right here, so it's not fitting the pattern of what we're looking for because it's breaching channels. We recovered up here at short off the fib level. MACD sent it down there too. So EMA crossovers. There's your VWAP. In here somewhere, I might short it. Down here, I'm a little worried about the long biased. We don't have enough data. We have some support and resistance levels, and that's it. Yeah, it may be making a longer move down. Let's see if we have a better play here. Tesla's up a couple bucks. What am I on? Okay, what's AMD doing? That's what I wanted to look at earlier was AMD, right? So let's get a look at that. Broke that fib. This should be long biased. Right within 20 cents of its open. I tend to look at this. This is my primary chart, honestly, is to see how the volume is moving the price. These just make a design based on that price. So if you can kind of see that without ever opening these. But, you know, it helps it, especially if you're looking for a more of a candlestick pattern. So what's our range in here? 218. It went all the way up to 219.39. That's $5 down, guys. It's a pretty big range for AMD. It's your average candle. So this is your what it says to go for. 35 long, 49 short, spreads 13. So we might want to do ask and bid to start, see if we get filled. I'm looking at this as a potential first strike and recoil here. I just got a gander at MU, which is almost back up to 372, so it's $3 off my profit. I think it's actually pulling a profit for me now, right? Let me take a look. Yeah, so I'm into the profit zone. So, you know, you could write it out for the whole thing, or you could just take profit now. It's interesting. I think we'll let it go and wait it out a little bit. It just did a big drop from where it was a second ago. It was almost to 372. Now it's way down. You can see it here, but it was almost to 372. Let me just watch this for a minute, guys, since it is actively moving the right way now. So it's using the ATR as a support, but that fib turned it around with a buy-sell oscillator, which is based on relative strength index. These are great indicators to get in the moment. So I could have had $100. I could have had today's goal right there, but I'm choosing to hold out. When you're trading something this risky, you kind of want to go for bigger bucks. See if it breaks to 72 now. There it goes. That's decent, man. I might just want to take it. I didn't think I was going to have the privilege of watching it. So I didn't want to walk away from a profit, but wow. It's kind of dumb to get out right now. It just pulled up the magnet too. There it goes. Nice. All right, I'm going to get ready to get out because this is getting decent. See if it makes another surge. Up to 74 perhaps. There it goes. Come on, guys. Get back up there. 74. That's volume increasing as it goes up, so expect this to go up. Pretty big spike in a second here, which is when I'll try to get out. Give it a minute. Should spike. People are taking profit. Let's let it spike. You know, Mr. Puppet Master, you drive me crazy. See the volume kind of, the buyers kind of went down a little, so it's like purposely trying to say, what are you saying? Are you acting like you know what? There it goes. That's what was supposed to happen a second ago. So I didn't get overly greedy. It might keep moving, but there's our first trade, so decent. Let's go to Apple again. And now we're out of that concern, right? Now we don't have to worry about that if it flushes. All right, I got to admit, I'm slightly happy with myself. Now, imagine if that was 1,000 shares, you know what I mean? So it's just like, when you have the account size to do the big numbers, it gets really exciting, and you can make money very, very quickly. But you got to have the stomach for it, right? Remember, I just told you about that guy with the barf bag. So, so that helped our month, right? And I thought I was going to have to count it against it. All right, so let's get a cleaner look at what Apple's doing here now. This won't be as exciting. Is that fib? This is where I want to short. This is where I want to short. How high was it? 70. So there's the point of no return, like where I might want to, that general average there. That's 75.33. So I'm going to look at 75 level as more of a short level. What's our spread? 5 cents. I'm going to make sure I get in it. We will keep it at 100 shares. Oh, it's going to reject. It's rejecting off the market magnet there. I missed it. What do we have for a pattern? I'm going to wait. Now we're back to kind of the boring style of trading here. And I did get a comment about, or email about, how Apple is safer. It's not boring. You can make money. It's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. Really good way to think about it. Stay with it, make your money. Absolutely. I'm combining a YouTube channel trying to show entertainment and the possibilities of if everything went right. So I'm trying to keep it on the edge a little bit, even with the smaller share size, make it more exciting. So you try to find stocks that can do that. I'm in a position where I can do that. I'm lucky, where I'm not like, okay, I got to make this work. I got to, It is interesting when you start to think that way, though, how things lighten up, like the possibilities of making more money just present themselves because you're not so narrowing your field and thinking a certain way. As you get older, you hear that a lot, where people just, older people, and I'm getting older, you make your world smaller and smaller and smaller because it's safer and safer and safer, and you don't want to think new things. iPhone? What's an iPhone? So, and you can definitely think that way in trading. It's good and bad, though, right? I mean, am I going to preach against not being wicked conservative with a slow-moving stock? No, I am not. The tortoise wins the race, right? Okay, so we just made a bull flag. There's the pole. Here's the flag. Now, if you took it from right here, that's 73.28 that's $1. So $1 from the base. So it should be at 75.32 is where it should stop, somewhere up in here, if it fulfilled the flag. But I think I'm going to go off the 75 short if it gets there. Counting for a retracement, like a constant moving back and forth. Should I be going long biased? All right, I better look at the overall market here. What's happening? Nvidia's still down. Intel's down. Amazon's up $1 now. Palantir is even money. We might want to look at Palantir. MU did make it to 375. I think I got out at 370. Now it's 376. So I could have held that and made more money. Tesla's now up $4, which is good. Google is down 3. Netflix, we don't want to trade. I don't even know why it's hit the scanner. IREN, we don't want to trade. Too thickly traded. Some of these others are interesting. Datadog, DODTG, I don't know. Yeah, I think, I didn't see it. Remember when I told you I wanted to go off to 75? I didn't see it. I was looking up there. That would have been a trade, Short trade, but it would have been, a small amount of money, but it would have been a trade. Okay. Now I'll look to buy off the 50-cent dip down here. What's my Apple Max share size? 150. We'll start with 50 so I can add in if it goes against me. Now remember, I put up a lot of things like you should maybe only enter 25% of your max share size. So if you get into an emergency, you can get your price point better. But that's a risky way to trade too. It's just barely moving here, when you look at the difference. But I'm thinking more long bias now, particularly if it breaks its high here. Just 75.33. Looks like it wants to make a move up today. We don't want to blow the nice profit we have. This is what the market makers are going to give me right here. Charles Schwab's own little people, their own little dark pools, which is why you always get filled. Nice. All right. I'm going to take it this time. This time I did go off to 75 for a recovery down. And let's see if we can get a fairly decent trade there. We'll buy the bid on a dip. Look, I need a little bigger dip than that, guys. But I don't want to get greedy either. Maybe we'll just take a tiny trade. So $9, just because it was stalling there, and it might go back up, making another little bull flag. If the down candles go past halfway of the pole, then it's no longer a pattern. Bull flags are usually 82% accurate. You can expect a move, and it indeed did make the move. Didn't make it the entire length I said, or did it? Close to it. Yeah, I'm heading to Mexico in the morning. That's my car service contacting me. I'm not driving to Mexico. Car service to the airport. So where I am at this morning, it was 21 degrees when I last looked at the temperature. So it's cold here. I live within very, very close to another extremely... I have multiple residents, but when I'm here, I'm very, very close to just a few houses down from one of the largest momentum traders on the largest momentum trader on YouTube. We literally live in the same neighborhood. So, and I hate him. No, I don't. So, but everybody tries to keep their where they live, to themselves, because you get crazy people everywhere. And it's not, I tend to not even, it's not their fault. Everybody's struggling, right? I feel more sorry for, figure out ways to help that doesn't involve what they're trying to get, which is usually mentoring for, or like just outright ask for money all the time. Like, I work hard for my money, guys, everybody does. And if I have extra, it goes to my family, It's not that I don't give to charity, because I definitely do. But you're not going to get a lot of sympathy from me if you're working your ass off to get ahead like all of us have to do. All right, so just sat here and grounded, is that a word? Ground off this fib. So that's 74, but I'd look for more than 50 cent to go long. See if we can get this down to like 50 cents here. There's 66. Come on, pound down a little bit, and then turn right around, of course. Wow, this is so slow, it's almost not worth trading, I'm looking at the, yeah, okay, so it definitely is moving. It's making the 15 cents in 10 seconds, so. Man, it's holding that fib strong, huh? It's really that fib, which is basically the oldest historical data you can get in nature's mathematical formula. That is really helping it boost up. And then I should have just done it off to 70 cents, I guess. I was looking for a little bigger dip. Not much of a move here. I'm going to smooth a level here. 88 cents. There's an 18 cent move roughly here. Isn't too much. $18. Okay. Wow, that was so fast. I couldn't have picked that up. On the market, it would have killed me. So I have to go to bid if it spikes down. Oh, I only have 50 shares. I was thinking I had 100. I marked it down 50 shares. Okay. So we've got lots of room to be wrong. I want to go long bias. That's why I'm not shorting right here. Whoa. That was at 75. I'm going to take it. So I got it at 97. Not all the way up to 75, but let's look for one of those dips now. I'm doing short. I should be long bias, but it's boredom almost, really, right? So I just tried to pick up. So I got $10 there. Now let's go. This is real grinding trading here, making little bits of money. I think it's safe to go 100 shares, honestly. So I can't double that up because of margin. I do not anticipate holding Apple into a swing, or a day trade, but I don't think I'll go above 150 shares, which is what I can do in this account. Let me just double check that at this price. Oh man, I'm missing the move. I'm taking it. 36. Wow, I saw that other level. Could reject it there. Wow, I tried to get a good trade there. I should have just hit market, huh? That was a decent move with 100 shares. See if it bounces back down. Should have probably just gone market, huh? Would have been a nice good trade already. There we go. So 2 times to fill 100 shares. That's because I'm not using the market maker, right? So they want you to use the market maker. So this stock is valued at 275. So this account has 43,000 divided by 275. So I can go 156 shares. Yeah, that's what I thought. If I don't want to hold margin. And I don't. I always like to look at it like if I got to take a swing. What did we have on the other stock? So we're $400 today. So that's pretty good already. So there's my smooth level, which is not, shouldn't be a very, very well respected level. But it could become our new floor. Right below the there we go. It broke it. Get down closer to that 270 again. Come on. I will take it. I won't go for the 50s. I'll look for the 270. There's 80, 79. Can we get a dip? Is that as low as it's going to go? I guess I'm just going to try to go in it. There's 78. Let's see if it picks me up. There we go. All right, I'm in it now. Let's hope it's not a flush. We got a fib here for a backup, just 8 cents down. It's a nice big tweezer move sending us down. Now, normally this would be what we would do on the strike and recoil. So I've done the struck. I'm waiting for the recoil. This is how we would get to $100, $150, $200. I do want to bring up another point because I got another email about it. So people can look at the correct perspective. But let me just, okay. Gonna do it to me. So should I go in off that? I can go another 50 shares is all I can really do to add to my position, which I might consider doing here. So we broke that level. So that's the first time in a while. Here's the, well, I have a couple of minutes, but kind of a smooth level, or 74.50 would be kind of like maybe you should just, either you're going to add to it or get out because it's going to cycle back down, you know, at that 50 cent level, which is $28 down from my position. Not liking the look of this, honestly. It looks like it's going to go down to me, so I'm just thinking of getting out rather than have much more pain here. There's a good move. See, the volume increased with the sellers there. That's why it's bad news. it's got the fib as a resistance. Yeah. I'm going to get out. Oops. I only got out 50 shares. Yep, there goes my big profit on Apple. And then it does that. It really looked like it was going to fade. So I miscalled that trade. Annoying. Now it could be making a bear flag here. Oh, I have a better stock to trade than this. This is so slow. All right. Let's yeah, I wouldn't have made money yet, but I would have not lost the money that I lost right here on this trade. What was that? Was I at 78 cents? Yeah, I guess I would have made money. Yeah. Oh, that's painful. Thinking about going long again down here, which puts me back in the same position. Well, you know how I like to be green on a stock? I might just count well enough alone because it's not. All right, this is where I go to recover when I'm doing bad, which I'm not doing. But we can't do anywhere near as many shares if you're have an account roughly my size, 43,000, sorry. Charlie is correcting me. 43,000 divided by 420, we'll call it 424 just to be safe. 424. Yeah, 100 shares. It's 101. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. It was that's what we had for max share size. So you'd want to go in at 50 at the most here on this. Let's get a look at it. 5 minute looks good. This is going to be more difficult to trade. Volume's still pretty high for this. But more exciting too. Exciting. We need the excitement. I'm going to look at everything here just so I don't say, why didn't I look at that? There's our 50, 100, 200. There's our ATRs. We're about to hit them, hit the high. But, man, not much of a trend, right? When you look at the days from before, we kind of are still coming up from the bottom from recent data. All right, what's the news saying on this? On Benzinga, exploring the competitive space, Tesla versus industry peers in automobiles. Is that the same? Nope, it's not the same story. Oh, yeah, that's the... Oh, they've got a newer story, 10:05. Come on, Benzinga, what are you doing here? That's the BZ Wire. Kathy Wood bets big on Musk. That's way back at 718. That's why it's going up today, right now. Hey, this is good. This is a good dip. This is good. Yeah, can we break that fib or get down to that fib? 41 to 421. So it's gone down to 420. So we're not that far down if it breaks the... Let me mark a level on that 5 minute tweezer. And then we really want to look at the current data to help make the move now that we have the historical data marked. Long biased for sure. It's definitely up from the open, but, you know, it's been higher. I think it's safe to trade at long biased. I wish I would have taken that dip. If you can afford the stock, I would call it long bias, which I believe what these guys came up with earlier. It says neutral volatile, headline driven, no clean trend. Well, the headline drove it up. Because of Kathy Wood, basically. Yeah, so what I was going to say earlier, why I wait to take a trade here, I got another email. I got a series of these that people don't understand scalping or they don't understand day trading. It's like, why would you take that much money to make $100? You $42,000, just invest it. You're just making $100. You're taking this risk. Number one, you're not taking a big risk unless you don't sell. You don't want it to go down to zero from $43,000. This is the same stuff I say every time. It's like you're assuming you set a position and walk away, which is how you must trade. Day trading is not like that. Day trading, you get to watch and you get in and out. Okay, so hang on. Okay, I almost said the name of the new person yet, but Charlie, don't let me forget what I was talking about. I'm looking to get into a position down here. Because it might go really fast, and I'll try to get it on the bid. If you got an 11-cent spread there, went down to 7-cent spread. Wow, it's really stopping at the 50 cent. It's not going to go down all that way. Darn, I missed it again. Yeah, that was already a 50 cent, $25 trade in a split second there. I didn't take it. So I just got to not get the ideal position, I think, and just start getting in these scalps because they're continually retracing within the candle. Long buys, but get into the scalps. But anyway, so, it's the same old story with these people that aren't used to scalping or day trading. They think it's a high risk, first off. Yeah, if you don't get out of the trade, if you don't have a day trading plan, it can be very high risk. So you need to control yourself. There's nothing I can do about that. I talk about it over and over and over again. You're responsible for yourself. Well, let's just assume that you, for the most part, can do that. Then you talk about the money, the investment thing. So if you're making $100 a day for 240 days of trading, that's $24,000, guys. That's half of your entire account. That's a 50% profit in a year. You find me a broker that does that, a 50% profit. There isn't any. Even Fisher, it's riskiest type stuff. You might get 20%, and that's not, all the time for sure. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead. I decided to go in even though it didn't go all the way down because I kept missing this retracement back up. So 71, let's get back up in here to above the 22, and then we'll take a trade. So you find me a broker that's going to be able to match what you can make with the amount of money you're risking, and there's $29. This is why Tesla's so great to trade. Just wait for we're getting a consolidation. Be careful of the channel hopping and the breakout. It just kept telling me, do it. Don't wait for the perfect entry. Do it. Like Bill Burr says about our problem that we all have. do it. So you can't get those kind of, you can't make that kind of money on an account this size unless you do this type of trading. That's why anybody who really understands trading knows the most money you can possibly make is scalping. That's it. I mean, on your dollars. If you learn how to do it, it is the most you can make. So if you have a $100,000 account, then you try to make $200 or $300 a day. Then you're suddenly making half of that. That's $50K a year. What if you're so many people that are on my channel, they're on Social Security, they're making, with a married couple, they're making $4 or $5K, some $6K if they really all worked for their max or their whole life. $6K a month. Their expenses are maybe $10K a month, right? So they probably have some sort of an annuity besides Social Security. And usually most of the retired people, to make their life more comfortable, $12K, maybe even $15K a month, they're looking to make $2,000 to $5,000 a month, right? So if you made $200 a day, that's $4,000 a month. You have to be an active participant. You have to. Some people would call it work. Some people would call it fun. Just depends. Your way of looking. I call it fun. And this is really, really small, very, very small amount of risk. If you started with like $15,000, you margined your account, but you said, okay, I'm going to risk $10,000. I mean, you could have a lot of losing days with this kind of thing before you would say, this isn't working for me. And of course, I recommend you go into a simulator first and all that stuff. Really make sure you're green. Yes, I have OCD. Yes, thank you. Somebody commented about that. It was funny. They totally hit the nail on the head. They said, I just sit here and fidget. Watching my screen is not always the most healthy thing for people to do. I don't know if you caught it yesterday. I didn't even know the sound was on, but the opening picture was on, and one of the studio cats came up literally, and the mic was on, and just came right up here on my desk, put her face literally touching the microphone, and meowed. So if you watch the live stream, even shocked me. It's like, I want food now. And someone was supposed to be feeding them that hadn't been set up yet. And usually that you get a nice, there's really only 2 cats in the studio. Sometimes we take care of a visiting cat, but and where the cat box is, guys, for those of you in terror, there's actually an exhaust fan that doesn't allow any smells to come in. So you don't walk into one of those offices where it's like, oh God, what's that smell? You don't smell anything. And their food is right there too, so you don't never smell that. But anyway, yeah, when they're not fed, though, you want them to come up and calmly muse you to make money. Like when they come up, it's known in the studio that if you get a cat that's going to lie on your desk, that's why I put a blanket here on my, I put a blanket right down here. It's like, lie here and help me make money. So, all right, so I'm being conservative with Tesla because I'm waiting for it to kind of get down to this flat bottom level. But it may be that it's going to stop up here now at the 50-cent level here. I only want to go long bias. I'm afraid it's going to have a big move up. I'm afraid of you get too bored, and there it is. There's the kind of the smooth level, flat top around. It could break out. It's hitting its flat top right now. That would be the spot to short in, right, if I wasn't long biased. Because it could be breaking out and then suddenly trading in here, and then you just don't get back to your position, and you're missing a lot of trades, and you're potentially losing money. So now it's stopping at the even dollar. It's definitely climbing up. Buyers were on the way up. Sellers came and made a resurgence here. But buyers now 90%. This is a great indicator, guys. This is scalp probe meter. You get a whole bunch of different versions with it. Nice. Good flush. I'll take that. What did I get it at? 69 if it picks me up. It's got to pick me up. I got to get out. Okay. Got to wait for the next dip. Could be further, so didn't give me my choice position. I would have made money. Yeah. 30 cents. That's the problem with the bid, but the spread's pretty big, so there was 66 again for a split second. 68. There we go. 55. Come on. Oh, come on. How many trades am I missing? Oh, God. There we go. We're in the game now. It's going to go back down to the even dollar down there, which is 55 cents off of my position, or 20-something dollars. Market, this is coming in. This is going to pull this up. This is going to spring up. Watch it. This is going to reverse. This is about to go up. It's hitting the VWAP. You're about to get this up. This magnet's going to pull up. Come on, don't make me wrong. Data says this is about to switch. Although the volume went up as it went down, so people are jumping on this move. It just makes me want to add into the position here if it keeps going toward the even dollar. The fib's way down here at 25, though, so I should be careful. Yeah, this is where it really was getting some support, was down here at the even. I would want to go a little lower to add. Yeah, let's go a little lower, and then I'll add to it. Or just make me money on the way back up. This is receding. So sometimes it takes a minute for it to make the move that the magnet called for. You can see this is telling you it's a lot of people jumping on this. So here we go. It's going to be a decent trade for 50 shares. Can't expect too much for 50 shares, right? Anywhere in the double digits for money is, for 50 shares, is decent. It was close there to doing something worthy. There it goes. All right, so we made a good trade for this amount of shares. So we're getting close to the time I have to. What do we got for overall? 426. We could do this a couple more times. I wish I hadn't have lost the AMD trade back. That's the one I had money on, right? Yeah. Wish you woulda, coulda, shoulda. I think I'm running about 90% accuracy like usual. 80 to 85% on the scalp and recoil accuracy. You will hear people that will say, that's impossible. Nobody does that. Well, just watch my streams and you'll see it's not impossible. I'm not bragging. It bothers me when the ignorance of people that don't understand that a good strategy and control of yourself can actually, now this could be the breakout, can actually work. It's just because they're having bad luck doesn't mean that the whole world is. So it did break out. So I'm not going to go short here. It's tempting, I got to tell you. If it goes up a lot higher, 50 cent, there's going to be a recoil first before it really takes off. Just waiting to see, is it done pounding up? Maybe I missed it. Now this historical data is, okay, let's take a look at that. So that's at, oh no, that's right here. That's not very historical at all. That's just based on the flat top. Wow. This is going to afford us a good opportunity. Except this is going to pull the magnet up. See, that's volume price average that's just happening in the moment. There goes the magnet. That shoves it back up like a springboard. Usually, nothing's always. But really, people see this, and they see all the people with that price. So there it goes. Oh, boy. I really want to take a retrace here. I'm going to go for it. I know I'm long biased, but I'm looking for a recoil, a quick recoil. So I'm looking for a quick recoil. It was 2 points there. $10. There it goes. So 58. I more like just don't want to be wrong for you guys. If you're not supposed to follow me, but that since I'm long biased, it had to happen fast because it's going to keep going up. It looks like so. So finally broke that flat top. So now we're up into the range of like the spikes, which is 424 right here. These are the spikes. So it could easily reject off that level. Let's give it another shot if it makes it up there. There's 90 cents on the ask. Because when it breaks that even dollar, it might really break it. So I'm slightly concerned because I want to play it long biased. I kind of want to wait for it to break the 424, then hit the retrace off of like 424.20, somewhere in there. Usually when they breach, it's like usually. There is no usual, but often. I might go long off that level. I'm going to go for it. Okay. I'm hoping it's not going to retrace way down there now. I'm looking for it to support from that level. Just a small trade. Should have picked me up, didn't. Come on. It's swaling up. One little swale. That's all we're looking for. One little swale. Who is not paying attention? What part of the market is not listening to me? I don't want to have to cut the strings, Mr. Puppet Master. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. You know, there's an old Twilight Zone episode where there's the doll. I think of Chucky when I think of Puppet Master. And that was obviously based on the old Twilight Zone episode where this guy kept going crazy because the doll would move around, or, I don't know if it would talk to him, but it would move around after he put it someplace. And finally he took it out in the garage, put it in a trash can, buried it, taped the lid on with some sort of duct tape, packing tape, taped it up nice and tight. This is near the end. Spoiler alert here of the episode. After you're just getting goosebumps watching it, because there was nothing like that back. That kind of story was definitely a rare story. Yep, I see that. Okay, so I have to stop in a minute for a next session. But anyway, he hears some ruckus in the garage and he hurries down to go like, what the heck is that doll doing now? And the doll had positioned itself on the steps, so he tripped and then broke his neck as he fell down. Creepy. Yeah, they didn't have shows like that back then where people died from stuff like that. It was black and white. I'm definitely aging myself. And then it seems like most of those Chucky style things were kind of taken from that, and now they go much further. Even Poltergeist, remember when it had that doll under the kid's bed or whatever that would be, he'd stare, and was in the closet, I guess, and he'd stare as the lightning was getting closer. He'd count 1,000, 1,000, because his dad said, that's how many miles it is away, until it was like right next to him, and then the tree broke in the window and like grabbed him, and, the doll was trying to choke him. It was like a clown. Poltergeist was a scary movie, man. Well acted. It's a Spielberg movie. All right, I'll look to do another trade here. Wow. Look at that ATR screaming to be shorted against. Right at 425.50. So long bias is the right way to go. See if we can get a decent pullback, and I might go long biased off the 424. 424 even dollar. Yes, I know. She's gearing up. All right, so Charlie's setting up the charts for the next session. There's 404. 93. Oh, I hesitated because it looked like it was going to flush further. Yeah, it looked like it was going to flush further. I should have got that trade. 40-cent trade, gone. Kind of like to get Tesla up to the $100 right here. I mean, the session's not for 28 minutes. Just what happens is we go over everything with everybody on the Zoom session. And there's less and less time when I stay here for low share size and trade. So, again, this is Strike and Recoil with Tesla. On this account, I can go up to 100 shares. If you just had a PDT and you didn't want a margin, you could go 50 shares and do just what I'm doing. I don't believe I've gone to 100 yet, have I? I don't think so. So you can do this and slowly earn the money you need to. But if you have less than that, then you couldn't day trade anyway. You couldn't scalp. You should only do like 2 trades. So I'm always assuming you're funded to some extent here to do this kind of trading. Whoa, did you see that was Thinkorswim freezing? Maybe you can't pick it up on the YouTube. I'm sure everybody's froze. Is that correct? Yep. So it's not just mine. It's a platform glitch, not a computer glitch. Tried to go in at the even dollar. See me waiting to get picked up. There it is. I'm hoping that even dollar is going to be support. So 82. What are we at today? 463. Not bad. See, that's why you want to recoil quickly. See how it broke down? It's looking for a bigger dip. Sees it shows signs that it wants to go down to the 50 cent down there. Ugh. Did I miss it? There it goes. Nope. Missed the move. See the relative strength index. That's the buy sell oscillator and the MACD both sending down. So EMA and relative strength both say go down. So let's see if see everybody jumped on that when they saw those readings. Trading with the crowd. You have the 9 moving average right there. So there it goes down. How far will it go down? No, it just a little. It wants to go up, man. MACD sending it down again. These are great indicators to have because the more data you get to line up. Okay, I'm going to go for that. So I got it at 79, hoping it's going to recoil and not keep diving here. Okay, that's your low. You're gonna pound up now. That's your low. Let's not keep going down. Oh, boy, that's the point of no return. Really? Is it going to break the 36? It did twice. I don't think I want to add here. I'd rather take the loss. 30 goes back to 40. There it goes. Come on. Thank God, huh? Looked like it was going to go. Maybe thinking God was a little extreme, but you know what I mean. There she goes. Let's break the 100. Got greedy. Could have taken a nice winning trade already. Showed 100. I didn't get out at that level. I got out at 95. Did that break us over 500 yet? No, so close. How's everybody? Everybody making money today? We're all making money today. I can't. Okay, so there was a request to tell diving stories. The answer to that is no. I don't have the time on this session, nor do I want to be that distracted. So thank your lucky stars, those of you that don't want to hear those. Okay, so we're looking down here, the 20. That's really at the half dollar again. Wow. I got to tell you, yeah, I'm going to go for it. Going for it again. 37 cents right there. Now, I hide this because it'll show my account. I already missed the trade, so I don't think I want to hold this much longer. I'm looking at the way it's swailing. Yeah, I'll hold it a little longer because it's giving opportunities here. So, yep. Okay. Wow, that was a big dump when it picked me up. That was a big drop. Went to 27 cents for a second. All right, so this is going to get me over the 100, which was the goal for one stock. So there it is. So we're going to stop there, guys. All right, not quite to 500, but that was pretty good for Tesla. So I think we did good there. Hey guys, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for watching. I've got a couple of videos here linked that should really help you out. We did today $488 in less than an hour, and you can catch me streaming live on YouTube. Most mornings I'm going to be off for about a week on vacation, but when I come back, make sure your notifications bell's on and you can trade along with me. All right, guys, I hope I see you there. Be careful out there and go green.